Good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing today? It is Thursday. Friday's tomorrow. Let's jump right into it. Do you overthink? Yeah, you do. Stop lying. You be in your head? There's a lot going on up there, ain't it? Yeah. You tired. You are so tired. You are tired of being around people sometimes. The overthinking sometimes can be or put you in the mindset to just want to isolate. Sometimes it's just, I can only imagine. I've researched it a lot. There's a lot of people in my circle that share with me their challenges of overthinking. And my heart truly goes out to them. So that's what empowered me to do this live here. To just, briefly touch some factors and issues and go around to educate on the definition of it. Well, it won't hurt. It can only help, Also, share this video and like it. Throw a comment in if you want to chat. I'm on break. I'm at work. All right, people, let's get into it. What is overthinking? When you have constant and repetitive negative thought cycles about the same things, you are overthinking. Please believe me. Also known as ruminating. While everyone has those times of extra stress and worry, they're just part of life. Overthinking goes beyond this point. It really does. Overthinking means seemingly uncontrollable fixations. Can you imagine? My heart goes out. It really does. It can include obsessing over past mistakes, stressing about the future. When you're in the past in your mind or in the future, you can't be in the present. It doesn't work that way. So you got to pick one. So a lot of times if you struggle with being in your head, you're missing moments that could be created to replace those bad experiences that you've had with new ones. But when you're constantly just in your head, don't know how to get out, don't make time to learn how to get out, you could really affect your quality of life in ways that you couldn't even imagine. Like, legitly. So overthinking, it can include obsessing over the past mistakes, like I said, and stressing out about the future, or even contemplating a decision to the point that you cannot even make a final choice about what to do because you're just so stuck in your head. Sound familiar, y'all? Come on. So we gotta really tackle the overthinking thing. We gotta do it right. You might have to reparent yourself a little bit. You might have learned little ways to adapt as a child. I know, for the most of us, we've grown up around trauma. So as children, you got to learn to navigate that. And not all the times is your parents going to be able to teach you. Maybe you didn't grow up with parents. Maybe you foster parents. Maybe, neglect was going on. Anything could happen to where you're not getting the proper lessons that you need when it comes to overall functioning in life. Excuse me. Why is overthinking so harmful? What do y'all think? Why do you think overthinking can be harmful? Think about it. And to those that's already in your head, think about that. Why can overthinking be harmful? Let's get into it. You ain't got no ideas? Overthinking is disruptive to your life because it repeatedly takes you out of the present moment. It does. And transports you to the land of worst case scenarios. Feel the stress from here. What ifs and doubts. I can feel the wedgie from here. Think about that. If there was a world or land that we could visit, and this land is the land of worst case scenarios, what ifs and doubts, do you really think any of us would vacation there? Absolutely not. So why are we letting that take up so much space in our head before we realize, let me find a solution before I burst? Let me find a solution because I'm going to play myself and I feel this, I feel this. You got to do better. And you got to learn better. Only then can you do better. You know how many people are stuck on their same script just because they came up with it in childhood? And some people are afraid to challenge it. Some people stay safe in their childhood by manipulating others to get to the top. And maybe they're still on top. So they don't want to shake up any of that stuff because they like where they're at, even if they use dark triad traits to get there. You know, to each their own, but I'm just saying, spiritually is ways that things could be done where it won't, you know, ruin your soul, assuming you have one. Come on, people. Now, overthinking can also be mentally and physically exhausting, y'all. These folks are tired. So if you know someone that's an overthinker, look, get them some space. Give them some space. You don't understand what it's like to be trapped in your head all day. You know, especially if they don't have the information and the knowledge to learn how to do it the right way, where they're not like stressing their own self out. Get them a break. We all out here doing this thing called life, trying to figure it out. Quit badgering the witness. Quit judging people without the benefit of intellect. You don't know people enough to ask them questions. Mind your business. That's all I'm saying. Now, after all, when your mind is in overdrive, that state of hypervigilance drains you of all your energy. How could it not, y'all? When you're constantly scanning your life for potential threats and bad outcomes, of course you'll be tired. You trying to stay safe like you did as a child, probably. You ain't chucked that script yet. So you're scanning as an adult all day long. Don't even realize that as a little person, you had to learn things that really you should unlearn because it's draining you and it doesn't really serve you anymore. It might have served you in your childhood, maybe your teenagehood. Maybe you did it in your 20s and now you're 30 and 40 and it no longer serves you, but yet you still using it. Start practicing self-awareness. Quit just looking in the mirror to fix your hair and pick a boogie. Look past vanity, folks. Look at your soul. Find yourself. You don't want to find that you don't have yourself later when it's too late, you know? That sucks. Who wants to be in that situation? I know I don't. It's just like, Now, without the right resources, coping strategies, and support, overthinking can become very difficult to control. In fact, it can feel like it is controlling you. It really can. Because no matter how often someone might try to tell you to just stop thinking about it, it's not that simple. See how some people will give you advice? They don't know what it feels like to be you, but they'll summarize advice for you to give to you and didn't ask you any questions. So what does it work for you? Are you someone that's more emotional? Or are you someone more logical? Are you empathic or not so much? Like, ask questions before you give advice. You could give someone the wrong advice. And then what, people have accountability challenges. You give someone the wrong advice, they take it, something horrible happened, and they come find you, confront you. And now what? You defensive. I was just trying to help. Well, were you really? What questions did you ask them to get to understand them before you direct them with your advice? Accountability don't burn. It ain't gonna kill you. Own it. If you did it, own it. Quit being cowards. Quit with that whole snitches get stitches stuff. Unless that's your lifestyle. You in the streets, you prostituting, you sell drugs. If you do, listen, if it don't apply, let it fly. Do you? But to those that want or seeking another way of doing things, a healthier lifestyle, whatever the case, you got to learn out of your toxic ways. That's the only option. You can't keep both worlds. You can't. I mean, good luck trying. I'd be here to hear all about it if you pull it off. I know I would love to hear it. But yeah, you got to pick a world. You can't, dibbling and dabbling in different ones? Nah, baby, that ain't how it works. Doing a lot out in these streets, huh? What are the causes of overthinking? What do you think causes people to overthink? Come on, folks. Let's keep it a bean. What causes people to overthink? What do you think? Huh? A lot of different things can lead to overthinking. And overthinking is usually the result of a number of those things building on each other. It's rarely a one-cause problem, folks. Some common elements that can add up to overthinking include mental health conditions. Overthinking can actually be a sign of depression, anxiety, a panic disorder, or post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Did you know that? So if you have any of those and you running from therapy, running from possible prescriptions that might help you, you never know, running from advice, running from support, you just top speed with your Adidas on, spiking it, out of here. You gonna make your situation worse, baby. I feel the suffering from here. Who wants to suffer if you don't got to? Quit picking suffering instead of walking through a little bit of challenge and struggle to get to the other side. That's the goal. Come on, we gotta become more resilient and quit being cowards when it comes to self-work. Everybody's so quick to do this. No, you need to work on, no, you was like, they was like, how about I was like, how about I need, how about I'm gonna, like, we got to get back to saying I more. I'm just saying, could help. Another cause, trying to control the outcome of a situation. Do you know how many people I've watched do that, including myself? Of course, I was set up, thanks Dad, set up to try to control outcomes. You got to think back. Because when I was trying to get healthy, I didn't necessarily go to my childhood. Originally, when I went to therapy, I started with, myself, my relationship, my kids. My therapist kept asking me questions about my childhood, which was frustrating me at first because I was like, Lando, you killing me. Like, I'm talking about today, like my relationship, this and that. And I didn't entertain it at first. I didn't. I was doing it wrong too, y'all. See, I ain't perfect. So eventually, he just kept it a bean with me. He said, listen, in order to know where you're going, you got to know where you come from. You have developed a way to communicate and show up in this world. And it didn't start when you were 20. It started in your childhood. So until you understand your childhood and what you went through and how you learned to survive, how you learned to problem solve, how you learned to emotionally regulate or not, ... Until you learn all that, it's a wrap. Cancel Christmas. You got to learn who you are, how you became who you are and then you got to own it. No, I don't do that. If you in denial, again, good luck. It ain't going to work. You're healing. You about to throw it away. Denial is the worst and the best way to not heal. So don't make it about everybody else. Stop waiting for other people to hold you accountable. Woman up, man up. Look in the mirror. You know what you've done. You know what you haven't done. Own it. Own it. And let your heart break. Quit running from it. Technically, your heart's already broken. You just don't want to feel it. So you're trying to stay afloat with all this BS. We cannot save people. We can't save situations. You can't stop life from happening. So get out of your head. We got to learn to get out of our heads. You know what I mean? Another cause of overthinking, stress. Yeah, I know y'all had to know that was coming. Extra stress, whether it comes from professional, social, or personal sources or elsewhere, can lead to lower defenses against overthinking and make you more prone to mulling over everything going on. Do you ever had that family member? Whenever anything's going on, they constantly trying to run, put fires out, overthinking, trying to save, trying to prevent. They tired. Oh, they tired. They tired. They're burned out and more than likely underappreciated. Let me tell you why. Because in a lot of families, you're going to have an ADHDer. You're going to have different people with different mental health challenges. You're going to have people that are able to figure out their challenges, navigate, and use it as a strength to get to the top. You're going to have some people that don't know. They're kind of like the bottom of the barrel a little bit, more shy, more quiet, you know, more easily manipulated like I was. And the people in the family are going to learn how to, I guess you could say, enable them, because that's what winds up happening. Sometimes people want to help, like I'll use myself. Sometimes people wanted to help me, but really they were enabling my behavior. I was people pleasing and not standing up for myself. So in order for me to get out my own way, I had to learn how my people pleasing started. And I had to start taking up for myself, holding people accountable. But you know how hard that is to do when you're controlled by abusive people in your family? Do you know how hard that is when you have adults in your family that is doing inappropriate or illegal things around you and you can't say nothing? Or you're going to get beat. You're going to get beat or intimidated. Now you can't say nothing. So I was choking on my truth. And fear was what they used to control me, certain people. Also, smear campaigns. You know how you might, let's say you do some dirt. Let's say, I don't know, you like, 16, you're not allowed to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, but you sneak and have one. Let's say you got another sibling that, let's say they got my bad. Let's say your sibling is narcissistic. And they notice that you're good with certain things when it comes to extroverted social situations. Let's say they want you to hook them up and you don't want to do that because you know y'all not allowed to be having a boyfriend or girlfriend, but they know you got one. So now they want you to hook them up and you say no. Now they're going to threaten to tell the parents you got a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You see what I'm saying? That's like blackmail. Like, so you're going to really... This is the type of stuff that happened in my family. Also, they can control you. You got to peep game. Or if you were like I was, where you were raised to not peep game because you was someone's remote control, you got to put yourself in an advantage by educating yourself on everything. And the more you learn, the less you move and make decisions using fear, the less you isolate. You don't have to hide from the world and protect yourself so, aggressively when you're educated, when you have knowledge. That is your freedom. So if you're running top speed from books, you might want to slow down, baby. You're running from your salvation. Letters is not going to kill you. They ain't going to beat you up. You just got to read them. I'm telling you. I cannot make this up. Challenge it. If you think I'm blowing smoke, challenge it. Another cause of overthinking, burnout. I've been there. Oh my God. If you've been spreading yourself too thin to the point of burnout, overthinking is more likely due to the stress you've been under and the mental exhaustion you're experiencing. Be careful with this burnout, y'all. A lot of times we're burning out because we're using scripts that no longer work or serve us. Also, another reminder, I'm looking for stars, people. Stars. So if you like my content and the content I'm making and you follow me, I'd appreciate showing me some love, y'all, because I got some big plans coming up. Big plans and giveaways. So stick with your girl. I got lots of information, of course, but back to it. Another cause of overthinking, and I'm guilty of this one, perfectionism. Perfectionism. Are you someone that has a perfectionist problem? You got to be perfect. That's me. Big time. As an ADHDer and a child that didn't know I had it, when it comes to, oh my God, I made a lot of mistakes and things weren't done the way that they needed to be done. And I would be scolded a lot or corrected a lot or having to be reminded because I didn't know I had challenges with my short-term memory. So I wind up having this chip where I like things got to be perfect, because really in my mind, I'm trying to not be scolded. I'm trying to not be corrected. I'm trying to not be the problem anymore. I'm trying to not, I'm doing it wrong. And I didn't realize I had that problem. When you're ignorant to who you are, it could create a lot of problems in how you show up. This is why you got to tap back into when you was a child. What was your family dynamic? Because that has shaped your mindset. That has shaped your perception. That has altered your emotions. All of that. You got to know who you are to know how you showing up. I'm trying to tell y'all. Again, overthinking. Perfectionism can make you believe you have to do something perfectly in order to do it all. And overthinking can feel like a safe alternative to making a mistake. See how you're trying to save yourself with it. Like, gotta get out of your head. Gotta get out of your head. Again, people, overthinking is often caused by more than one of these things happening at once. And it can manifest in various ways. What you gonna learn about? What are some symptoms of overthinking? You know what the symptoms are? So, y'all, how do you know when your overthinking is becoming an issue? There are many ways overthinking can show up in your day-to-day life, both physically and mentally. The signs to look out for include difficulty sleeping. It's hard to get your brain to go into REM sleep when you're constantly thinking, because more than likely when you lay down at night, you're in your head. Your brain has to shut off. If you're still using it, it won't shut off. That's not how it works. Second guessing yourself. I'm guilty of that one. Huh? Of course, I had a little help with that when you are around people that are invalidating, and I had a lot of family members that are opposite me. So, you know, me being an ADHDer, having the trauma that I had, and my mindset being all over the place. I was on one like a mug, you know what I'm saying? So, a lot of my folks, you know, would constantly challenge my mindset by questioning whenever I was going to use my moral compass or certain things, because I was around so much garbage. I'm just keeping it a bean. I was around a lot of infidelity, around a lot of crack use. I was around a lot of domestic violence. I was around a lot of listen, listen, Linda, listen. You understand? Sometimes it is what it is, but gotta learn. Don't let nobody have you second guessing yourself, because they might be manipulating you. They might be using some dark triad traits on you. They might be trying to control you in ways. And if you can't peep game, that might be your piece right there. People do not hesitate to play in your face when they see that you're of value. And don't let them see you're valuable and you can't tell you are. Woo! My heart go out to you. Oh, I didn't been there. That's exhausting to even think about. Let's get to the next symptom of overthinking. Excessive worry. You a worrywart? When you're constantly worrying in your head about the past or the future, oh my God, your nervous system needs a break. You got to turn it off. You can't just sit and be thinking that the worst doom. You're working yourself up to panic and possibly burnout, all because you're not turning your thoughts off. I know. Fatigue is another symptom of overthinking. Headaches, repetitive thoughts, trouble making decisions, problems with focusing, a symptom of overthinking. Constant need for reassurance. That was me. I did not trust my judgment because my abuser taught me, don't trust your judgment. Don't ask questions either. Do what I say. So I wound up being a child that was seen and not heard. If you have that injury, you got to get rid of that problem before you become an adult, let alone raising children, because I didn't know I had that problem. So I became an adult with it and I raised children with it. Can you imagine my drama? Oh my God. Also, Problems with focusing, symptom of overthinking. Constant need for reassurance, mental exhaustion, nausea, feeling on edge and or irritable, and muscle tension. Got to hit up that masseuse because stress can definitely live in the muscles. And don't nobody want that problem. Oh my God. So, moving forward. When overthinking begins to take over your mind, it also takes over your life. Luckily, it can be managed with the right tools, mindsets, and strategies. So, we're going to talk about creating a distraction. When you are overthinking, you need a distraction and you need one quick. So, we're going to talk about that. Let's create some distractions. Now, creative distractions can include, ooh, you're going to have to open up these windows. It's getting a little hot. Creating distractions so you don't stay in your head overthinking can include drawing, coloring, writing, or even decorating or rearranging your home. All of this will give you something to do in the moment, in the present. And if you do think it's about where I'm going to move the couch to, you know, and at some point you're going to move the couch thinking over, end it. Now, a creative activity can function as a brain reset button. Really? Sorry, y'all, I'm outside. Again, a creative activity can function as a brain reset button, shifting your attention away from the doom and gloom and back to the present moment. Plus, being creative is just fun, y'all. I know I'm a creative. So, creative distractions are great for overthinking for many reasons. They can help to improve your focus. That's very important. De-stress you. Reduce negative thoughts. Enhance your mood. Boost self-esteem. Also, strengthen cognition, and we need that, and so much more. Just by creating some type of distraction that's healthy. Don't start, stay with me. We talking about healthy, okay? We're not going to create distractions that are unhealthy. You want to improve your quality of life, not keep plummeting it to the pits of hell. We got to improve, y'all. The impact of curbing those racing thoughts with a little creativity can be huge, y'all. Huge. And now that you know more, it's time to tackle some more tips. Let's get it out there. Now, I want y'all to rate your current coping strategies. Whether you feel like it or not, you are coping. Come on, you're falling out on me. All right, y'all, work with me. Yeah. Whether you feel like it or not, you are coping with overthinking. You just might not have the best techniques yet, y'all. Or maybe some strategies do work well for you at the moment, which is great. However, you deal with overthinking, you can use the following table to reflect on your strategies and whether they're helpful when bouts of overthinking strike. I got some help guides, y'all. So what to do? It is like, make a list, like get a paper and a pen. On the paper, you want to write coping strategies. You can start off with like 4 lines. Write down your coping strategies. If, let's say you got 4, write each one down. And then next to it, put a rating scale. So from 1 to 5. 1 being completely unhelpful and 5 being super helpful. You have to challenge what you're using based on if it's working realistically or not. Because sometimes we deal under trauma, like trauma feelings. We'll deal under we have to learn to start making decisions from a healthy place where we're being intentional. Sometimes trauma responses come in. Sometimes we got to be more intentional. You got to peep game on yourself. And don't fall for that. Can't teach an old dog new tricks, because I am an old dog and I've been teaching myself new tricks for over I don't know how long at this point. So don't listen to people that want to trap your mindset to let you think, well, you are who you are. You should just chill. No. Less is more. Let them shut up and mind their business. You could change if you want to. Anyone can change. You ain't stuck being anyone that you don't want to be. So don't let them play in your face. And then, so let's say one of your coping strategies is, let's go to substance. You smoke. When you get home, you know, you don't like your job, so you hit the cigarette weed. I need to decompress. So let's write down smoke and then rate it. 1 to 5, 1 being completely helpful or 5 being is super helpful. But then you want to challenge it. What's the side effects of that coping mechanism? Are you able to function the next morning when you wake up? Are you this? Are you noticing that you're more anxious, less anxious? See, you got to challenge everything that you do. And you got to pay attention to the results. Not just tolerate the results. Because we can choose to do something different. But see, if you're codependent, these type of things are going to be challenging. Because then that means you depend on someone else in certain ways. So when you got to wait for someone else to do your own self-work, there's some stagnation right there to what could be your growth. If you were to rely more on yourself versus sit and keep waiting for your cheerleading squad to come. Worry about yourself. That's the best tip I can give anybody. Or you could call a trusted friend. But again, you can't trust everybody. You got to make sure that who you think you could trust, you really can trust. Because sometimes we learn the hard way that who we thought we could trust and that was real, not only can we not trust them, they phony and fake as ever. And they talking behind your back, or they did this, or they betrayed this, or listen. Or sometimes you outgrow people in your life. How is that going to help you? If you got somebody in your life that's really holding you back from who you are actually supposed to be, or a purpose you're feeling. Let's say it's your purpose to be a writer, but they keep seeing the potential in you. Like, you should really just do a bartending job. Like, I really see you being good with that. And they just on that, they don't support you being a writer. Right there, that's stagnation. Especially if you're codependent. You ain't thinking for yourself. You're more external. You go out and see what they think you should do because you don't trust your own judgment. Maybe you have reason to believe you shouldn't trust your judgment, but it shouldn't stay like that. It's things you can do to improve your judgment. It's called increase your knowledge. But first, we got to do something called feel like it. I love it when my kids, I don't feel like it. Oh, okay. So then you won't have to see the results and what happens when you drag in these type of areas and then you want to put it off on don't feel like it. My free advice, make yourself feel like it. You should be the most important person in your life. If you know it's a benefit in doing something, reading something, investing in, do it. Don't make it about how you feel. Learn to separate feelings from logic. I wish somebody would have taught me this when I was younger. We got a bunch of people running around here making emotional decisions totally in their feelings. You can't talk to them. You can't hold them accountable. They melt down. They blow up. They're emotionally reactive. You got people that's cowering to it. I don't have that problem. You can fall apart all you want. I'm going to be right there to collect. And you finish, I'm going to need you to get your moisture together so we can finish having this talk. I don't do those. I hold myself accountable. And I don't expect any different to anyone that's in my circle. So if you're someone that's looking for a way out all the time, yeah, you won't like me. Not because I'm going to be disrespectful, but how I exist is going to trigger you. Think about it. See, I hold myself accountable. And no, I don't self-sabotage. I know the difference. So if you're someone that gives yourself a pass and you don't do accountability, if I mess up and I hold myself accountable, it's going to make you uncomfortable because you don't do that. You avoid it. So why would you want to be around somebody that's going to make you feel uncomfortable with something you don't practice? Don't let people play in your face, yo. I'm trying to tell you. Practice positive self-talk. You know how many people that I've been around that do not do that. And then I learned that the people that I grew up around, like there's certain people I looked up to because of how positive they always talked about themselves. But I didn't know love bombing. I did not know narcissists. I didn't know dark empaths, psychopaths, sociopaths. I didn't know none of that. So some of that wasn't necessarily good, so like high self-esteem. Some of it was arrogance. Some of it was cockiness. Some of it was like, if I wish I had more time, because it's just so much to get into. Sometimes things cross into each other, and I gotta speak on it so I don't lose y'all. Assuming that is a lot of material, I want y'all to be able to keep up with me. But yeah, so when it comes to overthinking, take deep breaths. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Slow your brain down. Start using and tapping into your senses. Name something that you smell. Name something that you feel. Help ground yourself to the moment, to shut off your thoughts. And don't do things like, I can't do it. Nothing is going to be easy. Anything that's easy ain't worth it anyway. So let it, as long as it's difficult, you know you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So go through that difficulty. And you might not get it the first time. It's called practice makes perfect. Every once in a while, you might meet someone that does something for the first time and nails it. Sure, that might be a thing, but not with everybody. In certain things, we all have to struggle to learn it. And this, I believe, would be one of them. Especially if you come from a family that was trauma bonded. Maybe there's some healthy bonds in there, but it's trauma nonetheless. You got to figure that out unless you're trying to live on survival mode after you turn 18. Because if you come from trauma bonds, what you think your quality of life going to be? What you think you're going to be able to make healthy bonds and healthy boundaries and all you know is trauma? I mean, good luck with it. I wouldn't wish you, I would wish you well, but let's be for real. Come on. Like, stop playing. That's not how it works. Trauma sees trauma. And if trauma does see someone healthy don't want trauma. So you got to acknowledge when you're broken to yourself. You owe it to yourself to be honest with yourself about how you're showing up. Prioritize your task. Don't be like something is important you got to do and then you pushing it off, making excuses for, oh no, I shouldn't do this, because that's going to put you in your head, because you know it's probably something that needs to get done and you're not making it a priority. So now you got to put it in your head so you don't forget it, which thus again is keeping your thoughts on and anxiety probably triggered. That's unhealthy. Got to stop procrastinating and prioritize your tasks better. And break up with your inner critic, folks. You know we all got one. Our inner critic is the one that talks the most crap when our lips aren't moving. You got to make sure you quiet that noise. Don't be someone that criticizes yourself harshly and then you looking for other people to take you off the hook. You got to be someone that knows how to support yourself in a way that's healthy. Don't enable yourself. Don't do all of these type of things. Like, really figure out what's the healthiest course of action for yourself. Because what works for him may not work for her. What works for her may not work for him. That type of stuff. All right. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I can't stand loud things like that. Oh my God. I know it's a bunch of ego mixed up in there, but I don't like the loudness. Like less noise is more for me. Like, you're doing a lot with all the day. But yeah. Okay. Also, another way to turn your overthinking off, go for a walk. And try to pick somewhere that has ambiance. Things that you know you like to see, smell, touch. Arouse yourself with things that really just give you awe, make you feel, live in the moment. A lot of times we might neglect taking a nice walk. Or maybe we're not in a situation where it's nice where we live. You know, certain things you could create it for yourself. Like I would create, you know, I would and use my imagination. I draw pictures of the beach, and then I can envision myself there. It's a spiritual gift. I can really see the movie in my head. I do that. I use like dolls. I stage a situation. Like I have all kind of ways of staying out of my head. But then by default, I'm really more highly emotional. I'm in my feelings. That's my thing. Like I have to learn to separate feelings from logic. So I'm not someone that struggles with overthinking, but you know, I sympathize when it comes to that. Because like I said, a lot of people, a couple people in my circle that are very important to me struggle with overthinking. So that's what influenced this live. Distract yourself with healthy activities so you can stay out your head. It can be hard to break free from the clutches of an overthinking loop. As you go around and around in circles in your mind, the what ifs and worry become all you can focus on. So distraction can be an incredible, helpful strategy for defeating overthinking. It takes your attention away from the thought spiral and diverts it elsewhere. So read a book. That'll help you get out your head. You got to be present. You got to read this book. Write a short story. You know, if you can't write, let's say you have a disability, you can't write. Talk. Tape record yourself. You can't tape record, you could change that and look at other ways that you can kind of express yourself. The sky is really the limit, you know? Doodle, you know? Draw, like paint, put paint on your feet. If you ain't got no arms, put paint on your feet and step on paper. Make colorful footprints. Do something to help you get out of your head. These activities ain't just for children, y'all. Adults can do these things. Clean your room. Reorganize your kitchen drawers. Declutter your closet. Color. Call a friend to ask them how they're doing. Focus solely on the friend to keep yourself from going into your head. Watch your go-to comfort show. Watch the hot new TV series everyone is talking about if you choose. Listen to music. That's my go-to. Listen to music. You know what I'm saying? Make a new playlist. You know, I have an Afrobeat affirmation playlist that I've been working on. And I'm going to be going down once it's a little nicer where the water is. It's like Delaware Avenue. You know, I'm in Pennsylvania. So I'm going to go down Delaware Avenue and I'm going to bring my speaker down there. I got to get one of the little bags. It's the little flimsy bags with 2 straps. I put my speaker in that. Now I turn that joint on and I'll be getting it. Oh, practicing new dance moves for my content or just because I feel like it. You know, living in the moment. See, a couple family members will call that attention-seeking behavior. But unfortunately for them, I'm not seeking attention. I'm living in the moment. I just happen to not be shy or introverted. I'm extroverted. So people around, it doesn't bother me. Them looking at me doesn't bother me because for whatever reason, I'm just too stimulated by everything outside. I'm easily distracted. So even if I wanted to focus on something, my attention will shift immediately. So, you know, it's easy for me to be outside, dance. If let's say some people start laughing at me, that doesn't bother me either. I just created a space where I could be authentically myself without the shame that society wants to place on you. Ooh, look at her shoes. Ooh, look at her hair. I don't care. It's a free country. Say what you want. It's not going to kill me. So, you know, this is how I help myself. You know, take a hot shower or take a cold shower so you can activate your immune system. Aha! You know, cook your favorite meal or journal. Journaling is really good for grounding. Big time. You can learn a new recipe. Reorganize your bathroom. Now, see, these ideas are for people that don't act on laziness. Because truth be told, everybody can be lazy. So people that are more prone to laziness, they just act on it more than other people act on it. So it's really about mindset and accountability. You know what I mean? So practice self-validation statements. Self-validation is all about establishing trust with yourself through accepting your flaws, people. Accept them flaws. Don't let people shame you just because you're different for whatever reason. Accept your flaws. That way when you hear them being talked about, teased, gossip about, you're not about to flip and have a bird spaz out, oh, you keep my name out your mouth. Well, listen, it's a free country. They talking and joking on the president. What make you think anyone is exempt? Gotta thicken the skin. It's not what they call you. It's what you answer to anyway. You know? So, acknowledging your strengths, confirming your feelings, and embracing everything you are. Self-validation is great for overcoming overthinking because it releases your need for perfection, helps regulate your emotions, and increases your self-confidence, all of which are necessary for leaving overthinking behind. So what you want to do is you want to use self-validation statements to build trust with yourself. Because at a certain point, we abandon self to allow people to bully us, to allow people to blackmail us, shame us, talk down on us. And we abandon ourselves instead of stay there, stick with it, defend ourselves, create a boundary, never be around them again. But what do? Let's say there's a family member that's shaming you. You keep being around a family member, tell yourself family is everything. So then you sit, you take it. Now, your anxiety on. They forever talking trash. You try to let them know how you feel. They don't care how you feel. It still continues. Your stomach turning in knots. You stressed out, but you don't create the boundary. You don't make the change. You abandon self and you let the drama, the trauma just take over you. And then you mask your pain. This is unhealthy. We got to learn out of surviving those type of people when we don't have to. Now, if you're a child, 17 and under, sometimes you stuck to grin and bear certain things because you're not in control of your life yet. But once you become in control, I'm going to need you to execute that control. And when it's hard to do it is when it's probably the most necessary. So quit running from the fact that it feels difficult. Because that's what you need in order to see what you need to see from yourself. Like, wow, I really set that boundary. Wow, I really didn't think I could do it. You wow yourself, you move different. So, here's some affirmations that you could practice with yourself. In the mirror if you choose, so you can look at yourself saying it. I am enough as I am. And don't let nobody tell you otherwise. I did the very best I could with the time, resources, and energy that I had. Good affirmation there. How about this one? My feelings matter. You ever have somebody tell you, don't nobody care how you feel? Don't you listen to them. You better not. Don't you dare listen to them tell you that. Definitely, it's important how you feel. You matter. And you don't have to defend yourself to them. Why would you defend yourself to someone that's determined to misunderstand you? Don't waste your breath. Speak your piece and then set your boundary and step off in unbothered energy. Because the moment you get mad, they won. That's how it works. We give our power away. Come on, traffic. Help me out. We give our power away more than we think we do. Through our emotions. Because that's how the manipulators know if they're working magic or not. Our reactions. Now see, it's power in your response. Learn the difference. Very important. How about I am worthy? I trust myself. I know what I'm doing. Even if you don't know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. Because you know what you don't want. And you're learning what you need, not what you want, but needs are necessities. And sometimes people put their wants before their needs. Got to stop doing that. I am not my mistakes. That's gold, baby. Because people will, oh my God, they will drag you so you feel like scum. And they will leave you sit. Oh, you trying to, oh, you like you better? Remember that time? Save the remember that time and go that away. It was nice to see you. Like, don't let nobody minimize you. Don't let nobody talk down on you because you made a mistake. My sibling was forever doing that. Oh, you the hoe. You this and that. Mom said we gotta go to the supermarket because you want to keep stopping entertaining guys that want to get your number. Oh, you this, you that. Now I'm trapped to be whatever she thinks I am for the rest of my life. Bye, Felicia, on that one. I'm gonna need you to learn how to put people in the place they deserve and earned to be put in. Don't let nobody play in your face. Don't you do it. And don't waste your breath. Don't let them get you mad. It's your choice to get mad. It's not your, we choose anger. Trust me, it's a choice. Now, are there people out there that practice darkness? They got that Lilith spirit, that Jezebel spirit, walking with Beelzebub, that can hijack your emotions because they're talented or they have a spiritual gift that they're using for sinister purpose? Yeah, they live out, they exist. Oh, yeah, they exist. This is why you got to educate yourself so you know who you looking at. Sometimes you got to listen in a way that doesn't involve your ears. Sometimes you got to look in a way that does not involve your eyes. Divine knowing is what we all have. We must simply learn to tap into it and stop listening to what people have to say out their mouth, because their behavior is what's the loudest. Of course, they want you to not read that. They want you to listen to the BS and then take them at face value. Absolutely not. If you give me reason to doubt you when it comes to trust, yeah, no. I'm going to read your behavior, boo. That's what I'm going to do. No, you ain't getting that kind of access. We ain't about to do none of that. Okay. Now, identify the signs you're overgeneralizing, because that can be an issue too. Cognitive distortions, my bad. Cognitive distortions are biased thoughts that can lead to negative thinking and behavioral patterns. Psychologists have identified at least 10 different forms of cognitive distortions, but one type that's often a key player in overthinking and overgeneralizing. When you overgeneralize, you make sweeping assumptions about a situation despite having a lot of experience or evidence to back up your assumption. For example, let's say you made a typo in a presentation. When your boss points out your mistake while reviewing the deck, you start beating yourself up and thinking things like, all I ever do is make mistakes. I am the worst employee here. How could I miss something so simple? Of course, a single typo isn't indicative to your worth at work. No, baby, no. Don't self-sabotage because you messed up. Don't do that. Everybody makes mistakes. Whether it was in private, public, you own your mistake and you forgive yourself. You know what I'm saying? Forgive yourself. I used to do that all the time. That's why I kind of got a little passionate. Forgive yourself. You understand? It is so important. But it can seem like the truth in the moment. This is a prime example of overgeneralizing. So when you make the mistake and then you try to beat the person that's going to complain you to it by complaining yourself. And then you get into this toxic pattern of self-sabotage because you're trying to beat hearing someone else come at your neck for a mistake. And then you're overgeneralizing the situation. It could have been something that they was going to make clean and simple. Oh, you messed up, do better. But you just made it bigger in your head, overthinking the mistake because you got a perfectionist problem. And then you see the problem? This is what we got to learn out of. We wind up shooting ourselves in the foot, and then we'll get a gun to somebody else and then be like, why you shoot me in the foot? No, you tried it. You did that yourself. Don't be giving me the gun talking about I did it. Nah. By Felicia on that. Don't have nobody play in your face. So we got to stop assuming the worst. This could come from childhood trauma. Because if you come from childhood trauma like me, oh baby, you're hypervigilant. You're hypervigilant, which means you scan for threats like ain't no tomorrow. You looking at people, it ain't just you looking. You reading their behavior to make sure they not on one and about to come play in your face. You looking over there. You walking, you feel somebody behind you, turn around, now you're anxious. Listen, hypervigilance. When you come from the struggle, when you come from neglect, abuse, incest, anything horrible where your safety was at risk, you're a scanner for threats. And you have to learn how that works in your body because it's going to exhaust you. It's going to burn you out. Look, research it if you think I'm capping. Please believe me. Also, we got to stop believing that we do everything wrong. Even pay attention if you got people in your life that validate when you mess up more than when you do good. Because those ain't your cheerleaders. That ain't your team. That ain't your circle. Get rid of them. And you ain't got to be disrespectful. You don't even really owe no one an explanation for walking away. It's the truth. Is it something that you can do that's considerate? Sure. But you don't owe no one no explanation. If you see it's important to make a boundary where you're not going to be with this person anymore, we're not clubbing no more. I'm not hanging out with you. There's no more coming to my house, me going to your house. ... Do it. Don't say it. The proof is in the pudding. The action speaks louder than your words. Because a lot of the time, people will try to tell narcissists and stand up for themselves when they finally get sick. But the narcissists already know what I'm telling you. Action is what I react to. So you can tell me all you want, but I know you ain't going to do it. And then now you stuck in that toxic cycle because you want to run your mouth because you're really trying to put fear in them or to make them respect you by standing up for yourself. Finally, it don't work that way. You got to do the action or suffer. That's just what it is for all of us. So we want to not be using the word never or always. You got to leave wiggle room. Nothing is never and nothing is always. You know what I mean? You ever have somebody that talks like that? Like, I never win. I'm never going to learn this. Like, I'm always late. You got to give yourself grace. This is what I had to learn because I didn't give myself grace. Like I said, I'm the family mascot when it comes to my therapy and psychologically how I show up. Family mascot, black sheep, scapegoat. What's it called? I have some emotional incest, which has nothing to do with intercourse. Emotional incest is when a parent or guardian puts one of the children into a parental figure space. So let's say dad or mom. I don't want to, pick a gender. Like, there's no smoke. Dad or mom could be on one. Let's say, mom on one. So dad got 2 daughters. He makes one of the daughters, let's say she's 12. He needs her to start doing the things that mom doesn't do. I need you to cook dinner. I need you to wake your sister up and get her ready for school. Now, is there a lot of working parents that got to train their children to do this? Sure. But when you make it permanently their job, that's force right. That's called emotional incest because now they can't be what they need to be to learn, grow as children. They just took a job description. You know what I mean? So they can't focus on after school club I want to go to. I want to learn how to play soccer. I'm looking to get into the league. Or, I want to do robotics after school. No, you got to rush home because you got to make dinner because your mom's an alcoholic and dad is at work still. So you got to go home and be the mini mom and do all that till dad get home, and you don't have no time for yourself now. So your life is hijacked by emotional incest because you got to play a parental role because your parent is ineffective. This is what I had to do when it came to my father. And unfortunately, he was really good with lying to the family. So none of them knew what my role was and what my problem was. And he didn't explain what he exposed me to. So you got me looking like I'm a nut out here to my family members when really you programmed me to move this way. And then you wanted to stay a secret so the family could just think I'm on one? Bye, Felicia. I love you, Pop, but absolutely not, homie. We could talk about it. I mean, I'm open for that, but if you're going to give a narcissistic spill, it's a wrap on that. Cancel it. We ain't talking. If you can't meet me with emotional maturity, there will be no talk. I don't do emotional, reactive, immature people. I respect them from afar. I used to be them, for God's sake. So I'm not judging it. I just create a boundary. Because I choose to not tolerate that. Because when you're too emotionally reactive, that means you can't tap into logic. That means we can't discuss the facts. That means you're going to constantly derail the conversation away from accountability. That it just means too many things that equates to no results at the end of this conversation. And I'll be damned. So moving forward, let's give you some more tips. Because I know my mom nails about to be popping, y'all. She get her nails done. I'm a caregiver for my mother, to those that don't know. I've been caregiving since, oh God, it's been over a decade. I had many clients and I enjoyed it. But now I've dedicated my time to my mom. She hit a point in her life where she needs a caregiver. So I'm being that for her. Okay. We got to also stop defining ourselves by our mistakes. And we got to get people out of our lives that define us by our mistakes. Get out of here. I know you want to try to control me with guilt. I know you want me to not rise because you was able to get on top because you harnessed my gifts because I didn't know who I was. I didn't know that I had that moxie, that charisma, that fire, that it juice, girl. And I was giving it all away to family members that kept me small. They're there. So moving forward, I want to be positive. But yeah, I'm going to have to go, y'all. My mom here. Yeah, but yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this. I know I did. And then to any of my family members, if you are watching, sending love out there to y'all. And if you want to have a family sit down with me, you know where to find me. Please stop reaching out to my brother to ask him any questions about me. You can feel free to reach out directly to me. I'll answer anything you want to ask. But I may request that please be mature. Please don't come for me trying to set records straight because you're tired of my videos. They're exposing things that you don't want public. Because before I did this, I came to certain family members trying to influence conversations. It's certain things that I learned is unhealthy in therapy that the certain family members was doing. I was trying to bring it to the table of matriarchs, but people wanted to get moist, talk me out of it because for whatever reason they want to keep things silent, which unfortunately would keep me looking a certain way in the family still. Oh, I like that. That's the solid. That's fire. And I'd be darned if what you're going to do is cover up your demons by exposing me because you manipulated me to show up a certain way in the family. Bye, Felicia, on that. I ain't doing it. I ain't having it. Nope. So you can reach out to me directly. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm on YouTube. And certain family members, you got my phone number. Call me if you want to talk. Again, do not reach out to my brother, James Burch III. Leave him alone. He is chilling. He is on his own journey. He is doing wonderful. And we do not need triangulation, gossip, smear campaigns, trash talk, bringing the family up so you can create fights. We don't need none of that. We moving and vibrating high over here. So, M, the creative one, has spoken. Over and out, people. Enjoy your day.